I have this one term, and I call it a do-nothing bitch. Like the kind of chick that just tries to be pretty and be taken care of. Or if people like say that my body looks masculine or something like that, I'm just like, listen, I'm like, just because my body was developed for a purpose other than millionaires doesn't mean it's masculine. I think it's femininely badass because there's not a single muscle on my body that isn't for a purpose, because I'm not a do-nothing bitch.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey is still one of the biggest names the UFC ever produced. She isn't just a mixed martial artist. She's a former Olympic athlete, actress, model, and all-around celebrity. You know, when Beyonce samples your interview for her performance, you must be a big deal. So when 18-time boxing world champion Holly Holm was set to fight Rousey at UFC 193, everybody wanted to see if the queen of MMA could defend her crown from this new challenger. This made UFC 193 one of the most profitable and highly anticipated pay-per-view events in UFC history. Let's break down this iconic event match by match. This is Ultimate MMA. Middleweight mixed martial artist Robert Whittaker took this fight on short notice when Michael Bisping had to bow out, making his win all the more impressive. Whittaker came back to his home country of Australia to take on Jamaican-American fighter Uriah Hall.
Robert Whittaker just going for it right away. And that is what's scary about Whittaker. He is a finisher.
Whittaker was aggressive early on, landing some heavy hooks. Hall attempted to keep Whittaker at bay with some kicks, but Hall's feet were no match for Whittaker's hands.
Senses one of their own getting their arm raised here. All over him here, late Joe. Final 10 seconds. Third fight in 98 days for Hall. Third straight fight in Australia for Robert Whittaker.
Despite taking a couple kicks to the head, Whittaker stayed in the pocket with his superior boxing and positioning. Whittaker ended up taking the win by unanimous decision in his home country. Next up was a brutal battle between heavyweights Mark Hunt and Antonio Bigfoot Silva. These two already established a rivalry when their first fight ended in a draw at UFC Fight Night 33, 2 years earlier. Both fighters started with kicks to the legs and body before moving on to hand strikes. A heavy left hook from Hunt knocked Bigfoot on his heels before a second strike landed on Bigfoot's temple. From there, it was all over.
Oh, and again,
that's it.
Trying to finish it. It is all over. Mark Hunt by knockout.
The last fight was considered one of the greatest heavyweight matches of all time and ended in a draw. This time, Mark Hunt made sure that his heavyweight hands would be held high with his devastating knockout victory. Strawweight fighters Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Valerie Letourneau were the last fight before the main event. At this point, Joanna was known mostly as a superior Muay Thai fighter, but Valerie was undefeated in the UFC. Naturally, there was only one way to settle any debate over which fighter would come out on top. The first round had both women regularly exchanging shots and trading receipts. Letourneau was able to catch one of Jędrzejczyk's kicks and take her down. But Jędrzejczyk returned the favor with a front kick to the face. Both fighters never let up.
Beautiful right hand by the champion. Another one. Front
Final
kick to the
seconds
body.
of round 4.
Even when Letourneau's face was starting to swell, she continued putting up a fight. By the end, however, Jędrzejczyk would take the win via unanimous decision. Let's hope the success didn't go to her head. Finally, the main event. Rowdy Ronda Rousey would defend her bantamweight belt against the preacher's daughter, Holly Holm. Up until this point, Ronda Rousey was all but untouched in the UFC. She racked up win after win, armbar after armbar. But every legend meets their match at one point or another.
All right, ladies, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Touch gloves at this time. Come out ready to do this.
Wow, no touch.
To To start out, Rousey was holding on to her grudge against Holm, refusing to touch gloves at the beginning of the fight, seen by some as an act of poor sportsmanship. Rousey tried to keep the aggression high in the first round, but Holm was able to keep her distance and avoid clinching.
Nice leg kick again.
Ducks under.
And look at this. Holm is taking down Ronda. Now, I don't know if that's such a smart move, but she did it
Oh,
anyway.
there you go. She got back up, though, Joe. She got right back up.
But the point is, she did it. She's lighting up her legs, and she's catching her as Ronda's getting very sloppy, chasing after her. Big, deep breaths. Ronda looks exhausted.
The first round ended, and it was clear that this was the first round Rousey had ever lost in her career. By round 2, things got even worse for the champion.
Ronda's in trouble.
She's hurt.
Holly looking to finish.
She's out.
Holly Holm is the new UFC bantamweight champion of the world.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
With a solid jab and a kick to the head, Holly Holm routed Ronda Rousey with a sensational knockout, securing her the UFC Bantamweight Championship. It was the knockout that shocked the nation. Holm was a massive underdog, and despite her boxing experience, I don't think anybody ever expected to see Ronda Rousey lose this historic matchup. This major upset and highlight-worthy knockout will forever be remembered as one of the most shocking and exciting finishes in UFC history. Was Ronda Rousey as good as the reputation that precedes her? Were you surprised by her defeat? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and check back for more of the best of UFC. This is Ultimate MMA.